over questions again. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over my questions as well. Okay.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Is it your intro?
No, fuck. No, let's try that one more time. I wasn't.
You weren't recording. All right. That's fine. That's fine.
This is so making the YouTube cut.
Yeah. Good. You got to see the shit that we do. Wasn't there like an entire episode a while back where we just forgot to record on Audacity?
I know we had one just last week for like the YouTube.
Yeah. That's fine. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's better.
Welcome back to another episode of a Mindful Podcast. I am your host, Gabe, and I am joined by Brad. And I'm excited, dude. I'm so excited for this episode.
The UFC?
Everything. I was very
okay.
happy with the UFC.
I was gonna say because it was kind of a week where nothing was really going on with sports outside of the fight and NBA. Like,
And we looked into this card last week, and we were not excited
no,
whatsoever.
no.
I'm pretty good at. I purchase all my cards, but there are some cards where I spend more money on, and this is a card that I wanted to spend the least amount of money on. It did not look good.
Yeah, I believe I purchased mine off of Buff Streams. It was one of those websites. I believe I purchased it through.
Hey, you better watch out. Dana White is watching.
I person. Well, then let him hear that I can't trust this fucking ESPN app after that shit show in January of the pay-per-views literally crashing where everyone had to switch to streams. That didn't happen to you?
No, we've been pretty good all year with ESPN Plus.
Yeah, ESPN Plus crashed in the January fight card for like a bunch of people.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, it was not for us, luckily. But yeah, let's get deep into this card. Even just the early prelims, a fight we were looking forward to, probably the one of besides the main event, which we were mostly looking for, was Jillian Robertson.
Yeah, my wife.
She won't go by her real name, Jillian Jimenez, but
yeah. She's got more star power behind the Robertson.
Everyone's gonna question why it's spelled with an H.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, "Oh, you're an interracial couple," and then you just whip out.
Is it Jimenez? Jimenez. It's like, yeah, there's Spaniards out there too. But yeah, she had, I don't know, something happened to her. She was throwing up. She hasn't talked about it. She just was literally hurling the entire morning of her fight and nothing since then. Like, I mean, she's posted, but nothing about what it was.
Has like I feel like, could it have been like just through the weight cut? Like, do you know of athletes doing this before?
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes if you have a brutal weight cut, but that was the thing she posted on her Instagram and was like, no, my weight cut was fine. This was a really good training camp. Like, I never felt better. I think she just got sick.
Like food poisoning, probably.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
I know for me at least, like, especially hearing like the Jordan flu thing, like, I feel like sometimes we believe these guys are athletes or like robots. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where they can just like surpass anything. We're kind of like, oh, they have a sprained ankle and they're playing next week. Like, what's a cold to them?
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of times where I'm just like shit in my and I'm like, I don't want to even just move out of this bed, let alone get into a 3-round fight.
Oh, fuck no. Every time I get sick, I lay on the couch and cry for my mom, and I live alone. Like, it's bad. It's bad. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to fight throwing up either. Like, I don't know what sociopath would. So that turned our early prelim card to a single fight. I think they dropped another one off the early prelim too, or did they bump it up to the regular prelim?
No, they just cut the early prelim short.
Damn.
Because I think it was supposed to have 2 fights.
I thought it was 3. I could be wrong. I don't remember. It was too long ago.
Yeah, because the early prelim was supposed to start at 4, and then through this, I think because only one started like 4:30.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, what I enjoyed to watch was actually the Chris Gutierrez fight. It was just like I said, I mean, it was a fight that I didn't expect, but Chris Gutierrez, and I believe this was Oh, not his debut. I think he only had one fight before that, but he impressed me in this one. He did get the decision win, but other than that, he looked pretty good in it.
So I didn't see that fight, and I didn't see Bilal Muhammad's fight. I did watch Polyana Viana's. Is that how you pronounce that?
Dude,
I saw her rip that woman's arm off.
so this was the fight that like got me like really into this card. Was like at this point I was kind of like, okay, yeah, we've had a couple good fights. She came out to a Christian song, even though she's like Brazilian. I don't know like how much she's into American culture at all, but it was a pretty
Crusaders and stuff like that. I don't know. They were
probably
down there.
it was like a modern Christian song. So I was kind of like, oh snap. Like I recognize the song, but I wasn't thinking Christian at first because I've heard it a bunch of times. But like in a UFC environment, I wasn't expecting it. So I was like, what song is this again? It sounds familiar. And I was
You
like,
fucking nerd. God's not real.
well, she pretty much put a godly tier fight into this one because she was owning Martin on the ground. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many submission, five, I guess. And they were all different submissions. Like, it was just insane to see her work through her ground game to something that actually worked. But she had her way, dude.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching an ultimate surrender.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, the one thing I did see is fucking Rodolfo Vieira get submitted. I watched that fight. That was the one I tuned into. I was like, oh, I was all pumped up. I'm like, yeah, this guy's a fucking savage on the ground. Gassed himself out in the first 2.5 minutes of round one and then got choked the fuck out. Like, how do you do that being one of the top level grapplers in the UFC? How do you do that?
Shout out to Johnny for actually like having a bet on that. Like that. I was not, because it looked like Rodolfo had the submission in the first
He had like
round.
3 or 4 submissions that he was trying for. I remember he was doing like triangle armbar combos, and then like I want to say went for a couple of Kimuras and maybe tried to throw an omoplata in there. Like it was nasty. He was hitting Anthony Hernandez left and right, but it was like once he got out, it was done. Vieira was
Yeah.
just too gassed.
Yeah, it looked completely gassed in the second. Basically, at the end of the first round, he had nothing left in his tank. And then
No,
the second,
he was wobbly coming off the stool in the second round.
and
And
then
I mean, Hernandez. It wasn't just tired. Hernandez like knocked him out standing 3 times in the first round.
yeah,
And then finished it off with what was it? Was I want to say an anaconda choke at the very end, or maybe a darce, one of those two, right at the very end of the fight. And I mean, great job. Hopefully he I think he was saying that he hoped he got his purple belt after that. I hope you do too, buddy. I hope you do too. And hopefully Miley Cyrus winds up actually getting that henna tattoo across her stomach. Did you see that whole drama?
no, but I know he was the one that called out
Yeah,
Miley,
he said
right?
for Valentine's Day, Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus, will you go out with me? Yeah, so she responded and said, I will if you shave MC into your chest hair. And he said, okay, I'll shave MC into my chest hair if you get a henna tattoo of what's his name, the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever, on your stomach like Tupac. And then she posted a picture on Valentine's Day that said you could be here, but you plan or something like that. It was wild.
My man shot his shot. I mean, it was hilarious because all night for some reason, like it started off and like Joe Rogan was just doing an interview, and then I forgot who it was, but was like, "Can I at least give a shout out?" And he's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, like go right
go
ahead."
for it. Yep.
And then the guy was like so upset. He's like, "Come on, Joe." And
That
he's
was
like,
that was Hernandez.
"Was it? No, because
Yeah.
he said because it was already a couple fights in, and that's when he was like, that's what I mean. It started at the beginning of the card, like early prelims.
Mhm.
First fighter was like, "Come on, everyone knows supposed to give a shout out." And he's like, "Sure, go right ahead."
Yeah, go for it.
And then so everybody was like, "Can I give a shout out? Can I give a shout? Like, can I give a call out?" And then that guy was like, "Can I give a call out?" And then he's
Miley
like, "Go right ahead."
Cyrus.
He's like, "Miley Cyrus." This is awesome.
God. No God. Yeah. So hopefully he gets that Miley Cyrus punani. Moving on to the main card, Jillian Marquez. This one I don't remember. Oh no,
Yeah.
Jillian Marquez was the one who is the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was the one who asked
Oh,
Miley
that's right.
Cyrus
That
out.
is right.
Yeah. Anthony Hernandez, I don't remember who he asked out after the fight.
I think he called someone out.
Okay, that makes sense. And then Julian Marquez asked Miley Cyrus out. Right. What was his submission? I don't remember. Was it a guillotine? I want to say it was a guillotine.
Marquez.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually watching it right now. It was freaking filthy.
Yeah.
He just rolled right into it.
I don't remember that one. I know that he should have definitely shaved MC into his chest. It's, chest hair grows back, but the memory of banging Miley Cyrus doesn't. I don't know. He should have shaved MC into his chest. Don't be a fucking wiener.
For real. This fight, yeah, he did get him in a choke, and Maki Pitolo was actually doing pretty well. He even had kind of a ground game going off in this one. They were both pretty evenly matched striking wise. I'd give the edge a little bit to Pitolo from what I saw. But then, yeah, Julian just pulled up, like, pretty much got it under and just like hooked it in, and then it was all over.
Oh, this was the one where they said go out and get a finish or you're done, because he lost round 1 and 2 pretty decisively, and then pulled this choke out of his ass. That's right. I remember this fight now. Fucking wild. That was a good one. That was a great way to start the card. And then Ricky Simon came in and just outworked Brian Kelleher for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Brian Kelleher looked really fucking old.
Yeah.
Real fucking old.
I like Ricky Simon, so I was pretty happy with this one. I like Kelleher too, but I feel like if I were to choose between the two, I'd go Ricky Simon.
You still like Ricky Simon, even though he shaved his gross rat tail mullet off?
I was pretty disappointed in that. But, Ricky Simon is on now. This brings me to a 3-win streak. So hope to see his success continue.
Yeah, because he lost a lot before that.
Yeah, he lost to Uriah Faber, and then,
which is sad. Who loses to Uriah Faber anymore? Like after 2010, who lost to Uriah Faber?
And a KO too in 46 seconds. I wanted to go back and watch that.
I don't remember that one. I want to say this was the one that Uriah Faber came back for. Like this was his first fight back after fucking years, because it was in Sac, which was his hometown. Yeah, that was his first fight in 3 years. And then knocked out Ricky Simon real fucking quick. Anyway, on to a fight that actually happened this last week. Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, Kelvin Gastelum showed if you're short, get in real close and lift your opponent over your head and slam him down.
Throw him around, slam him. Yeah, fuck it. That was real fucking gross. He did a lot of just kind of throwing Heinrich around in that fight. Like I want to see how many takedowns he got.
6
out of 14 attempts. There you go.
So
gross.
Yeah. For Ian, I think he used his length really well when it was standing up, and then just couldn't really get anything done when it came into close game. And it just Gastelum, man, he was so good wrestling right now.
I mean, Gastelum's a world class wrestler. I mean, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, that was brutal to watch. So was literally everything Macy Barber did. That was a tough fight to watch. She looked legit scared of Alexa Grasso the entire time. I mean, when she was throwing those feints, like I would have more efficient punches, like more efficient feints if I was doing them at you through the Zoom call. Like I think you would get more scared of this than Alexa Grasso was. It was so fucking bad. She was so out of her element.
Yeah.
Like really fucking bad. Like I mean, it really just goes to show, like, she was not ready. She was not ready.
Yeah, Alexa Grasso just looked really, really good in this fight. And then that kind of posed the question, was it more Grasso or just less Barber?
I mean, that's a good question. I think because it was like Macy Barber comes at you like a fucking shotgun blast. She just throws everything at you and it just hits you with devastating power. Alexa Grasso was like a fucking sniper. She just every single shot she wanted was hitting its target. And anytime Macy Barber came into her range, she was getting lit the fuck up. So I don't know if it was just like crazy offense from Grasso that she was just like, I don't even know how to get in and do damage, or she's just a little scared. Just a little scared. Maybe she's worried about tearing that ACL again if she does something actually worthwhile in a fight.
Yeah.
So on to the main event.
Yeah, man, dude, this main event got me yelling.
Yeah,
it got me yelling.
I mean, they were
goodness.
His coach was right. You're a champ because of your jab, and he put Gilbert Burns on his ass with that jab.
Dude, so it was funny, like right before this one, me and Johnny had like just a friendly wager of against this one, and I was just like feeling myself at that point, and I was like, you get to pick whichever fighter, man. You get to pick whatever one. And then he's like, so what you just want to do whatever we're about to do? And I was like,
You
why?
just wanted to gamble.
And then he's like, because I'm gonna pick Uzman. And I'm like, all right, I'll take Burns. Just throw away. I had so much money on Uzman already. All my parlays were hitting. All of them came down to Uzman versus Burns. And I was like, dude, I got this. And then so I was like, even if I lose, I win. And then so the first round happens, dude. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just look at Johnny. I was like, I don't think it's as definite as we thought it was, man. Like Gilbert Burns came to play, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and, especially in that first round. And then kind of dropped off in the second and third. Usman was putting out a lot of fucking damage.
Well, so if you notice Usman and this is what makes him a champion, is he goes to like the left. Like if you look at the Masvidal fight, he was able to work Masvidal and own him the entire time. He never felt threatened. So he was able to play it his game. But if you ever look at like the Covington and this fight now, when he respects the power and is like, oh shit, you can knock me out, then he's ready to be like, okay, well then I'll put my chin on the line to actually knock this person out. And that is what he did in the second round, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then he knocked him. Was it the second round? Then he knocked him down right at the very end with his jab. That was so fucking gross. I don't know too many people in professional fighting, like at the highest level of martial arts, who can put someone out with a fucking jab.
And I think what also did for Burns was I think like the laying down and like kind of waiting for Usman to do something, and he was able to just like beat the shit out of those thighs.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like you're kind of like, once again, to speaking what I'm saying is like you're allowing Usman to get in his game, which is to dominate. Like you even said it yourself, he's here to dominate. I'm here to end it. And it's like he actually feared you ending it. Like
yeah.
And then you just laid there for like 2 minutes while he just beat the shit out of your legs.
I mean, Gilbert Burns, he probably felt more confident on the ground. I don't blame him, like, because he was getting beat the fuck up and standing, and takedowns weren't working on Usman either. So it's like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just see if he comes into my guard, see what happens.
Yeah.
Usman did the smart thing, though, to just be like, yeah, let's stand the fuck up. Let's do this again.
So I mean, this fight, it finally, I was like, damn, that was really beast of like Usman. Like, I've always known he's been dominant, great. But like now this and Covington, like I like to see his fights, you know, we call him Snoozeman, but man, he really put out for us. I just hate that man outside of the octagon.
Yeah.
I can't stand him, dude.
Him and his fucking manager, what's his name? Ali Albadaz or whatever the fuck. Like both of them need to shut the fuck up. They're both just terrible people.
I was actually rooting for Burns the whole time because I was like, I just don't want to hear this guy talk in the interview at all.
Yeah. I like Burns. Burns is fun, but yeah, Usman's still at the top, and I don't know who's going to be able to knock him down from there.
I mean, I got two things now. Something because he called out Street Jesus, but also to Jaime. How the fuck was this, by the way? What do you say? A weakness or something? Like it hurt Usman, the changing to Burns to Masvidal on a short notice. He said it was hindering Usman. Dude, Burns looked, even in that short amount of time we had, you could clearly see the difference between him and Masvidal at that time.
Yeah.
And then so, which brings us to our next point, that he actually called out Masvidal. The entire division, he's like, let's run it back to Jorge so he can stop using excuses of the short said notice.
Yeah, let's get a real training camp so I can knock him out this time and then yank the BMF belt off of him.
And then he could finally take it from him.
I hope if they fight again, like it looks like they might, because there's a lot of hype behind that potential. If they do again, the BMF belt better be on the fucking line. I swear to God, like last one, okay, BMF belt's not on the line because of whatever, but I swear it's got to be on the line for this one.
They'll probably promote it as like the two belt stupid thing, but like only one's on the line, and it's obviously the real belt. But it's going to be really stupid to see them both on the card with like Masvidal having his silver belt.
Yeah.
In the poster.
I mean, he's going to be doing it anyway. He's going to wear it to all the media stuff and all the It's going to be in the promotional, of course. You got the baddest motherfucker belt. You're going to wear it.
I mean, at this point, it looks like Usman's just kind of like, what's going to make money for me right now? This kind of seems the closest to Red Panties Night again. Because
Yeah.
it's like Covington. Does he want to fight him again?
Those are the two big red panty nights for his division is Covington and Masvidal, and he's knocked both of them out. So, well, I guess he didn't knock out Masvidal, but still, he's beat both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. That the division's kind of like, where do we go? Like, who's left?
Yeah. No, I
don't want to say he's cleared it out. It's just like, let's look at the UFC middleweight division.
I mean, I got one, but it's just way too early right now. But in the future, I mean, we have Khamzat Chimaev steamrolling up the rankings here, and I think if he can get one more fight,
if he ever fucking fights again, you mean?
I know.
It's like every other week that dude says he's going to be in a fight and then never gets into a fight. Like,
he had a really because he fought pretty close. He fought like the 25th of July and then or the 15th and then the 25th of July.
Yeah, he fought like three fights real close.
And then now he's kind of on a hiatus, but
he's had 3 fights like actually signed and ready to rock and roll, and then they all have gotten canceled for one reason or another. Like, so he's never going to fight again.
I know, and I think he has a talent to really make a run for this belt. Like, if I'm going to put a sleeper fighter right now in the welterweight, it's him by hands down.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. I'm looking at the rankings here. Leon Edwards or Wonderboy Thompson, but either way, I think Usman kills both of them.
Because I mean, he can have a real quick shoot off if they wanted to throw him against Tyron Woodley.
Fuck that. Tyron Woodley hasn't been good since like 2016.
It's true.
Yeah, Tyron Woodley's not worth a shit. I want to see him win a fight against somebody actually decent before we start throwing him up against the champ again. Because who was his last fight? Did he even win his last fight?
Yeah, he's won 3 in a row.
Has he really?
He was like the 47-second KO.
Tyron Woodley?
Oh, no. Not Tyron. I thought you were talking about Khamzat.
No.
Yeah, no. Tyron Woodley is on like a
3-fight losing streak since he fought Usman. He lost to Burns and he fought to Covington.
Well, I think this brings us to our next segment, which is talking about fighters. And the first one is a fighter that actually disappointed in 2020. And mine is Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
And because, like we've just talked about, he's on a 3-loss win streak coming back from when he lost the belt. I mean, this guy was on the top and then just has snowballed downhill.
Yeah, he's extremely fucking disappointing. Mine's gonna, if we're talking disappointing fighters, mine's got to be Cowboy. When was the last time Cowboy won a fight?
Yeah.
I want to say he was pretty active this year too.
I mean, yeah, he fought Ferguson, Gaethje, Cowboy, Connor, just in the top of my head.
Nico Price, it was a no contest apparently. Price deducted a point in round 1 for repeated eye pokes. Oh, it was the fucking eye poke one.
Yeah. And actually
oh my God. Originally a majority draw, overturned after Price tested positive for marijuana.
So Cowboy got beat by a stone Nico Price tied because he repeatedly poked him in the eye. If that's not the most disappointing headline, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Not to mention that was coming off of a loss against Anthony Pettis earlier in 2020, a loss against McGregor, a loss against Gaethje a few months before that, and a loss against Ferguson. So he's on a 5-fight spiral. Like, dude's not doing great. He's got a fight coming up.
He may or may not have to take the PVZ route and go bare knuckles and OnlyFans.
I was gonna say I would pay for that Donald Cerrone OnlyFans. Like I'll pay, but he'd better go full goatsy.
He would.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He'd better go full on cheek spread. But since we're uploading this to YouTube, like cheek spread, I want to see this at a Cerrone.
My God.
Yeah, I want to see it. Show it all.
My goodness.
And then I still won't pay for your OnlyFans because who fucking pays for that?
Right.
All Yeah, so that was what was the next question on the list?
So the other one is a fighter we're excited for in 2021.
No, all right. Mine's gonna sound real contradictory to everything else I've said on this podcast, but Conor McGregor. If he really does make his 3-fight run and actually becomes relevant in a division again, that could be really exciting. That could be fun. So we'll have to see. He's on I mean, what is he? He just won 1 fight now? Or no, he lost to Poirier.
Yeah.
So now he's got to kind of climb his way back. But if he gets more active, I think he'll start getting better, getting back into the groove of things. So we'll see. It could be an exciting year for McGregor. So I am excited to see him put his money where his mouth is, kind of.
I like it. I mean, yeah, dude. Honestly, now that he's came back, I'm very, very intrigued and excited for Connor. Because my thinking is he's always been wanting to be active, so I can't imagine him not being. I mean, the loss probably puts a damper on things, but man, depending on who his next person is, it's always going to be, a crowd drawing card. Just his name alone is going to bring people.
And the problem with it is I don't know if Dana White's willing to put out 3 red panty nights in a row in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Maybe if Conor McGregor gets a little bit like his head comes down to normal human size, and not like fucking Titan sized, we'll see maybe him fight a little more often. Because if he wants 15 mil to fucking show up every time, well, I guess you're not going to show up.
Yep. Mine's someone we also just mentioned. It is Kamzat. Dude, I was watching his fights and because I just been a really big fan of him, and he's just putting really, really dominating fights. Like I know, like, okay, the competition that he's fought isn't up to standard, but like the one that like just threw me for a loop is like the Reese McKee fight. He had 40 significant strikes. He had a submission attempt, 68 total shots. His opponent had 0. A flat 0. A flat 0 on the whole entire other side.
I don't remember that fight. That's pretty hysterical, though.
He just hit him a couple times and then got him on the ground and then just khabibed him to death, dude. It was absolutely obliterating. Then his fight after that, 17 seconds. Yeah, he is.
I remember that one.
He is set to fight Leon Edwards in March.
No, that was the one that got canceled.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that one got canceled. I don't remember. One of them had like, I think it's Kamzat. He's got complications with COVID or something like that. He got COVID and then like kept having symptoms or something like that.
Gotcha. Because I know another fight of his got canceled prior to this.
Probably because of COVID.
Probably because of COVID.
So yeah. I know he's been battling it for like a month and a half now.
So hopefully this year it improves and he's able to fight, because I am super excited to see what he can do to someone of rank status.
Yeah. And that proves even professional athletes in the prime of their lives can still have a tough time with it. Wear your fucking mask, people.
Yes.
I hate to get too preachy, but if it can kill Kamzat, it can kill any of us.
Dude, okay, that is insane though. He hasn't been hit since July 15th.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. He's probably been hit since then. Let's be honest.
That is true. Do you want to know? Okay, in his first fight in the UFC, this man has taken a total of 3 shots.
Wow.
The other one was 2 of 3 total strikes.
Have you seen his picture on Wikipedia?
It is hilarious.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was trying to catch Sasquatch from a block away. It's like, is that him? it's all blurry and grainy, like it was straight out of fucking 2009. The picture was taken. Anyway, yeah. So that was what was that? Fighters we're most excited for. What's the next one?
Yeah, a fighter that impressed in 2020. Mine's weak because he did win Fighter of the Year, but goddamn, Kevin Holland. God damn.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, it is so basic, but like I wasn't looking at the awards, and he instantly came to my mind. And I looked him up, like, yeah, of course he won Fight of the Way.
Yeah.
Like, you just, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense. What did he fight 5 times last year?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, not to mention he's just so fun to watch. Like his mouth and everything is just so beautiful. It makes sense that I hands down he's fighter of the year.
Yeah.
So now I have to pick the runner up for best fighter of 2020. I like Poirier this last year. I know his most recent fight was 2021, but he's, other than his fight with Khabib, that man's looked unstoppable. So, I mean, Khabib's a different animal, so you can't really count that against him. But yeah, Poirier always puts on a show every time he comes out. That man is a fucking animal.
Yeah, I like that one too. Dude, his fight against Conor was just so good.
Yeah. Did you see that Dustin Poirier is going to get a show on First We Feast?
Oh no.
Yeah, he was on Sean Evans' Hot Ones, and he was like, "Hey, do you have any ideas?" Blah blah blah. He was like, "Actually, I was thinking about doing like a food show, like you guys do." And what did he want to call it? Food fight with Dustin Poirier is what he wants to call it. So he wants to go to different towns and like train at their gym, and then like go tour a bunch of restaurants and cook with them and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
We've already made promotional material. I think it's actually going to happen.
It's pretty funny. That's actually really cool. I'm curious to know what next fight he wants to get into.
Hopefully they throw him in for the belt. I think he deserves it. Throw him and Gaethje against each other, just because. Fuck it. Let's watch them kill each other.
I would absolutely love that fight.
That would be a fun one. Because I don't have they fought before.
I was just looking at his, and
I don't think they have. If Khabib's gone, give Poirier and Gaethje a chance at the belt. That'd be fun.
Yes, they did.
When did they fight?
2018.
That makes sense why it was so fresh in my mind.
And
Poirier won.
Yep. In the 4th round.
There you go. And it won fight of the night. Have him run it back. It'll be fine. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'd want to see it. So
the only other name I have, and just because he's 3rd ranked, is Charles Oliveira. But I would think Gaethje should have a shot before Oliveira. But I can see if they want to mix it up, just because Gaethje just had a title fight and lost it.
That's so tough. You almost have to do a fucking like what Bellator does with the tournament brackets for all their fights. You almost have to do that just to decide who the lightweight champ is. They're like, we're just gonna throw you against each other, 8-man tournament bracket, and just whoever comes out on top. All in one night too. You have to fight 3 times in a night to be champ, just like the old school days. Yeah. Really have guys die in the octagon.
So yeah, that's what I would like to see. I think I agree with you. I think Gaethje and Poirier just sounds like a really, really good title fight. But
they're both deserving too. And then just have Charles Oliveira fight whoever wins. You know who needs to shut the fuck up in 2021? Nate Diaz. I swear to God, that man's on Ariel Helwani's talk show like every other day, talking shit on every single fighter, and the man hasn't fought in like 2 years.
Yeah, that bugs me, man. You got to be active to be.
And he keeps fucking losing too. It's like, shut the fuck up, Nate. Nobody cares about you anymore. Get in the octagon or leave. Like, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear you talk shit on every fighter. Like, he's calling out like people that aren't even in his weight class either. He's like, I forget who he called out, but I think he called out someone from light heavy. It's like, are you gonna go up to light heavy and fight him? Like, shut the fuck up, mate.
That brings us to our next one, which is the fighter with the most to prove in 2021.
Nate Diaz. He's got to put his money where his mouth is. No, I for real, I am going with Conor McGregor because I'm most excited for him, but he needs to prove he still has hands because that man's gotten beaten up in the last couple of, other than like Cowboy, but he's gotten beaten up pretty bad, especially at lightweight.
Mine is Tony Ferguson.
No.
Similar to like
Don't
the
say
whole.
his name.
I know. So similar to the whole like Tyron Woodley, where you were so high and esteemed, to now you're on this like two loss streak. It's just, man, you got to win your next one. As someone that had such a huge win streak, and then now to be on the other end of it is just like, that's very sad to watch.
It is.
Mind you, we were just talking about the two people that did beat him as potential title contenders, so it's not like he can't rebound from this, but he needs to have similar to like a Max Holloway, where when he lost multiple times, he came back and look at the performance he just put on right now.
My God, Max Holloway looked like such a fucking stud in his last outing.
So you got to do that, man. You got to remind us how great you are and how great the sport is, that someone that loses twice in a row can absolutely obliterate someone.
Yeah. Tony Ferguson needs to show back up, show what he's got. What was his last fight?
Last fight was Oliveira, yeah.
Oh, Oliveira, right. And he lost to Gaethje right before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was on a wild win streak before that. Yeah, Tony Ferguson, he should show up in 2021. That'd be nice. I'd like to see him back on top.
And then it just makes our conversations even harder. And if like both of ours, Connor and Ferguson, come back, I mean, that division is so hard to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. So just like any Tony Ferguson tweet, you gotta like decipher what's going on in that division. Have you? I don't know why I clicked onto his Twitter. It's like literally Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's like
half of it's emojis. Yeah,
6 words and then like 18 emojis in a row. Like, what are you, fucking 12?
It's like a 12-year-old girl on MySpace. Like, Jesus shit.
Yeah, hold on. Birthday cake, music emblem, like a fine wine, grape emoji, drink it up, champagne emoji, crew, leaf emoji. Like, that's just the first line. What the fuck, Tony? What a fucking goober. But yeah, if he comes alive this year, that'll be fun. I don't think he's got a fight booked this year, though.
Not yet, no.
Sad.
Yeah. I really hope he doesn't waste the whole year. Just
if that's what it takes to get his head unrattled from Justin Gaethje's right hand, that's fine. Take a year. I'd probably still be a little concussed like 6 months after Justin Gaethje put his hands on me. So we want to move on to the NBA?
Sorry, I just clicked on the Chimea Wikipedia thing.
Yeah, right? It's like a Sasquatch photo.
Taken on one of the disposable cameras.
Yeah, it's the only documented picture of fucking Slender Man right there.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, let's move on to...
Now that we're done looking at the fucking Loch Ness Monster, yeah.
Let's move on to NBA. First and foremost, my apologies to the Bucks fans. I touched your little gold home and it turned to trash. I predicted them to win a couple, and they're on a three loss streak. In typical Michael podcast, where
no, in typical Gabe fashion, don't you put that evil on me.
That's fair.
I did nothing to the poor Bucks fans.
Also, same to the Sixers, because I shouted them out, and now three loss streak.
Yeah, at least the Western Conference is still doing good. The Jazz hasn't caught your fucking shit stains yet.
I know, dude. I'm really loving the Jazz.
Talk about how great the Lakers are. Talk about how good they are.
No,
do it, because I want to see them on a 3 fucking game.
Oh, true. They are amazing. They're doing great.
Great. Yeah, LeBron James is just a god.
They did lose to the Nuggets most recently, who have been a bit streaky. So we were kind of correct that it was going to be tough for the East to come out of this like tough West road games that they had, and it was the Sixers couldn't get it done. The Bucks couldn't get it done. They had to fight the Jazz and the Nuggets, and these are 2 tough teams, man. As I watch them, the Jazz are just so good defensively, and then Donovan Mitchell can just score on you. They're on an 8-win streak. The ones I said they had to be worried about was the Bucks. And they just
apparently they didn't have to be worried.
They didn't have to be worried about them.
Yeah, what was the final score of that game? 129 to 115. Yeah, it wasn't even fucking close.
Yeah, and then the Jazz beat the Sixers 134 to 123.
Gross.
So
Gross.
Jazz are someone to be looking out for, especially in competition against the Lakers. The Lakers have been pretty good. They dropped some games that you wouldn't expect them to drop, and that's kind of why they're in second place. They can beat good teams. They can beat almost any team. But then they lost to, if I'm correct, the Pistons, and they lost to the Nuggets most recently, which is pretty tough to beat nowadays. Yeah, they lost to the Pistons um, a couple weeks ago, and so it's these dropped games that the Jazz are on an 8-game win streak. So to surpass them, they're gonna have to start going on streaks, and they've been doing a pretty good job, and that's why they're second. However, a sleeper one that, goodness gracious, I'm so sorry, Phoenix. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna
Don't do
touch
it to
you.
him.
I'm gonna touch you, man. And dude, I like what they've been doing. A lot of times, I really don't think they're gonna squeak one out, and they've built a really good team around Devin Booker. A lot of the young guys are really coming in, and yeah, they're on a 6-game win streak, beating Philly recently. One of those tough teams we said they're gonna have to get past. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Celtics. So they took out East Big Three, and they're a team that can do pretty well. Once again, just seems every year we have the West doing really, really well, and the East trying to catch up, and it just they meet for the finals. But the West is so hard to get into the playoffs, so hard to make a run to the finals. Like,
yeah,
it's so difficult. With the West.
And there is a tough game tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, Jazz and Clippers tomorrow at 7.
Yeah,
so that's going to be
one.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for both of them. So we may see a little bit of movement in the top 3 of the Western.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they're not going to catch up to the Jazz in a single game, but
Yeah, no. But
they could pass the Lakers though.
Exactly, and that's what you're going to be looking for in these Western games with these top teams. Similar to teams that are on a losing streak, which is the Rockets and the Sixers. The Rockets have just been struggling so much. They sold a lot of their team. They gave away Westbrook, not gave away, but they traded Westbrook and they traded Harden, and so they are in a rebuild mode. However, the Sixers are competing, and they've been struggling of late. They've been playing some good teams, and so this is a perfect game for them to rebound against. Personally, I would say the Sixers. If I were to pick some games for tomorrow, it'd be the Sixers. And I mean, the Nuggets get a wash in Wizards, who have not been gelling well with Westbrook and Beal. They've been doing pretty good. The team has not.
And how far Cleveland's fallen.
Cleveland is just dropping consecutive. They're just not good.
They're just not good. Yeah,
not good. We played them recently and
smoked them. They didn't even break 100.
We did pretty much what I thought we were going to do. We were going to split the Spurs, lose to the Nets, but beat Magic and the Cavs. We split the Mavs, which I kind of expected. We have Heat, Magic, and Hornets. And I can easily see us winning 2 of those 3. And then we
see us winning all 3 of them.
I can too. The Heat can surprise a lot of times. And I really wish we could get Wiseman back. I just think we need a little bit more at center. But I think this is a team that we can beat, as well as Magic, Hornets, Knicks, and then we get to the Pacers. And then that might be one of our tougher ones.
Yeah, that one's going to be tough. But yeah, it's looking nice for the Arches outlook. The Golden Arches, is that what we're calling them now? That's what I'm calling them now.
The Golden Arches.
Do we have a goofy nickname like that? I don't think we do. I just know that it's always fun every time you go to one of their games to have the entire crowd going, Warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors. God, I love that movie.
I know we just always call Steph and Clay Splash Brothers, but Nothing really attributed to the Warriors.
Yeah, that was just how good they were. It doesn't count for the team. So yeah, should be actually. There are a couple of really, really good games coming up in the next few days. So basketball will be fun to watch legally on ESPN and not streamed at all.
That is true.
Who would dare do something so despicable?
We're totally against.
Yeah, Dana White, you have our support. You piece of shit. Do we want to wrap?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for another episode of a Mike Full podcast. Thank you for joining us. Be sure you check us out. Give us a like on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Check out our YouTube that may be where you're listening to this. Give us a follow on Spotify and iTunes, and we'll be back next week to talk your ear off again.
Bye.
There we go.
That's when you know it's done.